I forgot my thing. Well, hello YouTubers. Randy back again. I haven't posted in a while. But, well, life's been busy. So I forgot my tripod. So we're going to do this at arm's length and do the best we can. So as I promised, this was going to be a ham radio video. So here we are. This is the Friday before field day. So all you amateur radio operators know what field day is. For those of you that don't, this is this weekend where we get together and it's an emergency preparedness exercise slash contest. It's supposed to be more of an exercise, but this is where all the amateur radio operators test their mobile setups and communicate for one whole weekend. They kind of turn it into a contest to see how many contacts you can make over the weekend. It's not just individuals, it's clubs, it's groups, but you can do it as an individual. And there's different classes and everything. You can do it on household power, emergency power. I'm doing it on emergency power. So I'm in a local township park, not too far from my house. And I brought out the Xiegu G90 and the Wolf River Coil TI-8000 antenna. And this will be its first rigorous test. I'll flip this camera around here, give you a shot of where I'm at. We're lucky enough to get a pavilion up here through one of our club members. And it's a pretty nice location. So let me spin this around. And this is the outlook all the way around where we are, or where I am. So, as you can see, we're pretty high up. And I've got pretty much hilltop vision all the way around, back to where we were. So, I brought out everything. Here's my little setup. So, as promised, there's the G90. I've already played with it a little bit. Now I'm just running on a 12 volt 7 amp hour battery. Real simple, straightforward setup. The radio is outstanding as usual. I've been playing with this since the first video when I showed everybody I got it, and that radio still impresses me to no end. So then I've got 50 feet of RG8X coax rolling out to, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's kind of hard to see, but there it is. That is the TIA 1000 Wolf River Coil antenna all set up. I've got the three 33-foot grounding wires on it going out in 3 different directions. Just the way it comes. I haven't done anything to it. That's the way I bought it. So I got it set up and hooked coax up to it. And the one thing I did invest in that I've got hidden in the Pelican case here that I found out with this antenna that is a must to have is this right here. So this is the MFJ HF VHF SWR analyzer. It's an antenna analyzer. Does all bands. And if you don't have this, then using that antenna is going to be tough. And I've got it set up right now on 20 meter. And it seems to be working great on 20 meter. I tried to set it on 40, and I couldn't get that thing to tune on 40 meter to save my soul. I played with it and played with it with the analyzer hooked up to it. And the way this works is this is a tuned antenna. And I got the cheat sheet off other people that have this antenna. So the idea behind this thing is it's a loaded coil. I apologize for the wind. The idea is you take this ring, you move this ring up and down this coil to either lengthen or shorten the antenna to tune it to the band you want. So when I first got this, I tried tuning it for 40. And I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little sharpening mark right there. So the last time I had this out, I had it on 40 meter. And that's where the top of the ring was. I set it there again. I can't get it to go anywhere close to a 3, let alone below a 3 on the SWR. So I came up to 20 meter, and I finally got it to like a 2.5 right there. You can move this thing up and down, and when you get it close, if you take that ring and you twist it side to side, it fine-tunes the SWR. So you get it rough going up and down, then you fine-tune it twisting it. Or at least that's what I gather is supposed to happen. And then you can change the length by collapsing the aerial too, because the top aerial's telescoping. So what you can see, I got the 3 grounding radials on it right there, and they go out that direction 33 feet, that direction 33 feet, and behind me 33 feet. Like I said, I got 50 foot of coax going to the radio. And I don't know. I'll keep you posted. I'll probably add more to this as field day weekend goes on. Maybe talk to some of the other guys. I mean, for right now, 20 meters works exceptionally well. I can't get anything else to work at all. I don't know. I'm going to play with it, and I'll keep you posted and let you know. So, for me, it's going to be 48 hours. For you, it'll be the snap of a finger. But I'm going to wait. It's only about 3:30, 4 o'clock on Friday. And I came up extra early to play with this to see. And oh, and then just another note. I brought extra batteries, and then I bought a regular. Oops, it's windy up here. And I got a power supply in there with another battery, and we've got a big generator right there. So we're gonna definitely run on emergency power. But I'll bring you back when I got something, and maybe I'll show you some of the other guys' setups while we're running this weekend. But for now, that's it, and I'll bring you back when something interesting happens. Well, hello there, YouTubers. It's Sunday, about 6:30, something like that. Field day 2020 is over. What a weird year. So as you've seen in the earlier video, it's only been a couple seconds for you, but it's been a day and a little bit for me. But I'm home. I started Friday afternoon, set up the Xiegu and the TIA 1000 from Wolf River Coils on Friday. Had company until about 11 o'clock Friday evening, and then was left alone to babysit the radio club stuff until Saturday morning about 9:30, something like that. Slept in my Jeep, diehard ham radio. But in that time, I did a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of experimenting with the G90 and the Wolf River Coil TIA 1000. And this is kind of my after action report. So, my take on the combination. The radio performed flawlessly, as expected. That Xiegu G90 is an amazing little rig. I had to tweak a few settings, but once I did, and most of it was a mic gain, I set the mic gain down to about 4, 5, and every QSO I made, people bragged about how well that little radio sounded. On a typical average, out of southwestern Pennsylvania, I talked to, oh wow, kind of all over. I did Washington State, Colorado, Georgia, North Carolina, DC, a couple in Canada. I even got one, what was that? Where was he at? It was one DX contact. I forget where it was. Dang it. Anyhow, for 20 watts, I got on an average between S5 and S7s Friday night and early Saturday morning. I really went at it from about 3 a.m. Saturday morning till about 5:30, 6 a.m. Saturday morning on 40 meter. The radio just performed flawlessly. My take on the antenna. For its first full field deployment, with just the instructions I got from Wolf River Coils, let's put it this way. I'm glad I did all the internet research and other people posting YouTube videos about that antenna. And luckily we had another club member that got one of those Wolf River Coils a long time ago. Gave me a couple tips and tricks. Setting it up is finicky. If you buy one of these antennas, they work really well. You absolutely have to have an antenna analyzer. Let me get in the back of the Jeep because I haven't unpacked yet. But as a matter of fact, let me kind of show you what I did for field day. Get you folks, bring you along for the ride. So I put everything, I don't know if you saw it in the earlier part of the video, but I managed to get everything into a Pelican case. The aluminum rods right there is the telescoping top and the 3 legs that go on the TIA 1000. But I managed to get everything else, radio, battery, antenna, power supply, coax, grounding radials, everything into the Pelican case. So with that case and that little bundle of radials, I've got everything to do portable HF, including, if I dig all this out, the antenna analyzer, which is right there. Okay, now that's the MFJ 259 antenna analyzer, which I found used on eBay. So I picked that up, and had it not been for that antenna analyzer, I'd have been in a world of hurt. Because this ring, moving it up and down, is extremely touchy. And I do mean extremely touchy. For somebody that's never played with one, the sheet that goes with it doesn't really help you much. You can slide it up and down to get roughly tuned. Like once I got it to a 3 SWR on the analyzer, is when I started, instead of moving it up and down, is twisting the ring side to side. And that kind of fine tunes it. And they tell you that in the instructions. But they don't tell you how minute you have to turn that thing to get a really big change. The other thing, I don't remember if they tell you or not, but this wire that connects the top of the coil to this ring, or the bottom of the coil to the ring, if you touch this thing or even wiggle this ring, it sends your SWRs way wacky. You're grounding it out, you're grounding out the antenna, you're doing something, but you got to kind of back off of it 3 or 4 feet to look at your antenna analyzer to get it close. Now, one thing I did find out is my used antenna analyzer is about 1.2 or 1.3 SWRs reading high than what it actually is. So I'm going to have to contact MFJ and find out how I calibrate that analyzer. Luckily, a couple other guys had analyzers too, and I compared theirs to mine, and mine's reading high. So when I tuned the antenna to a 2.5 SWR, it actually was dang near flat, 1-to-1. I had a heck of a time trying to find 80. I had a heck of a time trying to find 40. 20 meters I found pretty quick. 20 meters is almost all the way up at the top. Matter of fact, it's I think that's about where 20 meters is right there. But now that I know some of the quirks, and after talking to some people that have this, They said they put another piece of threaded aluminum between the base and the bottom of here. So like right now, here's the base. That's the base. And this base screws on right directly to there. They said by putting a 2 feet piece of aluminum threaded rod between the base and this antenna, which moves this coil higher in the antenna, it seems to make this coil act a lot better. So I'm going to try that. If Wolf River Coils doesn't make something, then I'm going to just go to Lowe's or Home Depot or someplace and buy some aluminum rod and thread both ends to put a 24 inches in between there and see if it makes a difference and how that antenna acts. But I gotta say, once it was tuned, like once I had it tuned on 20 or I had it tuned on 40, and once I finally found 80 meters to tune it on 80 meters, I never ran the tuner on the G90 and the thing worked perfectly. So it does work, and it deploys really quick, which is nice. Because let me set you guys back up here and make sure I'm back into where I am, and you'll have to bear with me because I'm still trying to figure all this out. But once I got it tuned, it seemed like the thing worked perfectly. And I would tune it for the middle of the band. So like if I was going to play on 40 meters, I would tune it to the center of the 40 meter voice, and that seemed to get it up and down. I did the same thing with 20. When I went to talk on 20, I tuned it to this middle of 20 voice, and that would cover me both ways. When I wanted to do 80, I tuned it to the middle of 80 voice, and that seemed to cover me really well. I pretty much used it the way Wolf River Coil shipped it to me. I haven't modified it other than I put that little 90-degree elbow in, so instead of the coax coming straight down, it comes out as an angle to try to save torque on the coax. That's the only thing I've done to it. Once I got it tuned, which took a little bit of doing, it worked great. Deploys fast. Works really well. I had it sitting on the ground. You could see in the earlier part of this video how I had it set up. Worked great. I'm sure after I tinker with it some more, it may get better. I know some people say to replace that telescoping whip at the top of the coil with a regular 102-inch stainless steel whip like back in the old CB days. That kind of defeats the purpose of what I want to do, because I do it for emergency deployments. That was the whole idea behind having it this way. We discussed about taking the top of the antenna off altogether and putting a bolt down in the top, and then just having a piece of wire, like a 16-foot piece of wire, come off the top of the coil. That way you can take the wire, and instead of being limited vertically, you can take that wire and either do it vertically or slope it or L it or V it. It was a discussion. It sounds like a really good idea. Wire's cheap. I'm going to try it. Just like aluminum rod's cheap, I'm going to try it. I will keep you up to date on how it works out and when I go to play with it. But yeah, the combination as a whole, other than the tuning part of the antenna, I couldn't ask for anything better. I really didn't sleep well while I was up there, so I did a lot of talking and a lot of playing around with the radio. I wish I'd have shot the video. But up on that hill where we were, it was super windy. It decided to pour down rain off and on. It was just not conducive to trying to shoot video. But I wanted to cover it and get this video out. But yeah, worked real well. The only problem I had, like I said, was tuning it. And once you got it tuned, it was perfect. Just the instructions. There's a lot of things that one little instruction sheet on that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper doesn't tell you. I know that there's a video out, the guy has one, and he took the time to measure down where his 20 meter tuned, where his 40 meter tuned, where his 80 meter tuned, and he even went as far as not only taking the measurements where the ring goes, but when he had the telescoping mast all the way up, and where he had only like 3 sections out or 4 sections out or whatever. I tried that. It didn't work. Even moving the antenna 3 feet, I had to retune the antenna. So once you get it set up, if for some crazy reason you pick the antenna up and you move it over a couple of feet in any direction, you have to retune it. It changes the tuning. Weird, but it does. Is it a good antenna for rapid deployment? Absolutely. The thing's set up in 10 minutes. Problem was for me, and I'm sure as the more I use it, the better at it I'll get. But tuning it took 20 minutes, half hour. You know, if I didn't have to spend so much time tuning it, I could have the G90 set up, have the antenna set up, and be on the air in 15, 20 minutes, which was what I was after. For an emergency, rapid deployment, portable system, the sooner you can get on the air, the better you are. And you want to have everything with you. Now, as far as power goes, for the G90, I kind of went over-prepared. So I have a 15 amp power supply because we had generators there. But I have a few of these lead acid 12 volt 7 amp hour batteries, the smaller ones. Okay. One of these was not even a full charge because I haven't charged these in probably 7 or 8 months. I just went with it the way it was. If I killed it, I had another one. One of these running 20 watts on a G90 lasted me every bit of almost 4 hours, 5 hours at 20 watts before the display on a G90 got me down to like 11.5 volts. And I know that's kind of pushing it because you don't want to take lead acid below like 11.3. So at 11.5 volts, I called it quits and went to the other battery. And then just for giggles, and I'm not condoning this. I'm not saying this is what you should do or shouldn't do or anything like that. But I had it, and I figured, well, you know, I'm going to try it. So Bioenno and everybody's got those LiPo 4 batteries. They weren't great. Everybody raves about them. They're pricey. Well, as luck should have it, I turn wrenches. If you haven't been able to tell from my other videos, I had to buy a new jumper pack, jumper starter. For some reason, I lost mine. I had one of the big ones like you see at garage has. Harbor Tool and Freight, I love Harbor Tool and Freight, has this little kit. It's a Viking, okay? And inside of this is a car jump starter pack. And it's really slick, and I won't show you the whole thing, but the heart of this thing is that's the jumper pack. Everything else plugs into this, okay? And I figured, well, I'm taking lead acid. I'll take this just in case. Plus, it's got USB phone charging, and I had my cell phone. So I figured I'd take it enough else to charge my cell phone. Well, I got to reading the back of the label, and I don't know how much you're going to be able to see this, but it has, if you look at it, and I don't know how well you're going to see that, but this little Viking jump starter has a 12 amp hour, they call it 12,000 milliamp hours, but it's 12 amp hour, LiPo 4 battery in it. I'm thinking, wait a minute, LiPo 4, that's the same thing as a Bioenno. 12 amp hours. 12 amp hours? Well, what the poop? So in the kit, they give you a little plug-in cigarette lighter adapter, which I can't see me using. So I whacked the end off, whacked the cigarette lighter end off, which gave me the plug-in to the power pack and a positive and a negative. And I hooked the G90 to this. I ran that G90 after my second lead acid battery went bad, just to play with it. This was my 3 o'clock in the morning experiment. I plugged that G90 into that Viking jump pack. I didn't put a dent in that LiPo battery, and it ran it just fine at 20 watts. And I ran it for another 2.5 hours, 3 hours, just like I did on the lead acids. If something was going to happen, I wanted it to happen there. That was the whole point of going out, was to experiment. That little jumper pack ran that G90 just fine. And on the front of this thing, you can see it shows you a charge scale. It shows you 25, 50, 75, and 100. I knocked 25% out of this. So even after playing with this hooked up to the G90, I was still able to charge my cell phone on this. And my cell phone sat on here at a 5 amp charge, or 2 amp charge, for 2 hours, and still didn't use 75% of this battery. Okay, if I turn this on right now, turn it on, yeah, it's still lit up at 75%. So, and the great part about this is this whole kit was $60 at Harbor 12 Freight. Now, I've already used it to jump off a couple of cars, and it jump starts a car no sweat. But the jump start gives you 450 amps all at once. And the directions say you can jump start 6 cars, or don't use it 6 times. But as far as power goes, I didn't put a dent in this thing. So take it for what it's worth. I'm not saying run out and buy one of these, but I'm just letting you know that I tried it and it worked. I think I'm going to play with this some more to see what the downfall is of using this, but it didn't seem to hurt the G90 a bit. So I'm going to keep going with that, and we're going to see what happens. And the great part about that Viking power supply is if you've got a car, you can recharge that pack back up from your car. Or you can, I don't know if you can charge it from solar. You can charge it from a wall socket, or you can charge it from your car. I haven't worked out the rest of that yet. But for as long as that lasts, geez. So anyhow, that's my after action report on Field Day 2020. Strange year. But I wanted to get that done. I wanted to get this video edited and out to you today. I'm on my way over to my brother's. We pulled one of the motors out of the blue CCKW truck. He's got the head tore off of it. The motor's locked up. We think some water got down into it because it rusted it. So I'm going to take over there and take a quick look at that. I may shoot some video of that, even though I said I wasn't going to do any more CCK videos. I might do some more of that and just give you a little quickie 5 or 10 minute video on that. Of course, it's been sunny all day, and now when I walk out to leave, it's pouring down rain. So there you have that. That's just my life. And it's a nice cool 85 degrees here in southwestern Pennsylvania. So, but yeah, there it is. My take on the G90 and the TIE 1000 Wolf River Coil. I didn't go back for field day today. I left yesterday, probably 1 o'clock. So I didn't really do field day. So I don't know how the guys did from the club. I know there was 3 or 4 guys up there. I never did make it back since I stayed there all night and really didn't sleep. But with all this COVID stuff, it was weird. Yeah, anyhow. The only upside to it is we work real close with Washington County Emergency Management Agency. And they're gracious enough to let us borrow their big diesel generator. They bring it up to field day where we have it, where you saw me at earlier. And usually they bring up the big mobile command truck, 92.2. And I kind of wish it was there because I would like to show you guys. Washington County Public Safety is real good to us as far as letting us use equipment and helping us out. And we try to help them out. And we want to thank the guys at Washington County EMA for that. Yep, and here comes the weather. But of course, for obvious reasons, we didn't get to borrow the truck this year. They did bring up the generator, so we were able to use the generator this year. So we still got somewhat of a normal field day in. But and what I understand, they're using that as part of their clean area space, and we wouldn't want to mess that up for them. They help us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. I don't know if anybody thanks them enough, but to Jeff and Ryan and all the guys up at Washington County, Pennsylvania, EMA, thank you for all you do for the club. We really appreciate it. We hope to keep that relationship up and working, because that works out good for you guys, it works out good for us, it works out good all the way around. Also, a big thanks to Dennis, K3PSP, who's a member of our club. He's one of our board members. He also does some work with Washington County EMA, and he's kind of our go-between between the club and EMA, and he helped get our 5 repeater system up, which fortunately is all retired public safety equipment. So all our repeaters are retired public safety repeaters. Thanks to the relationship between us and them, Dennis was able to get the county to give us permission to put our amateur repeaters on the same towers that all the Washington County EMA repeaters are on. So we've got 5 interconnected repeaters for our local repeater network. And that's all thanks to Dennis and the guys at EMA. And we want to thank Dennis and Washington County once again for all their work and support from the Washington County Amateur Radio Club. I know they don't hear it enough. I just want to personally thank them. I'm sure if the club guys were here, they would thank them. Dennis, for all the hard work and effort and time he puts in. We appreciate it. So, yeah, there's that. So, Field Day 2020 in the bag from KC3EKZ. If you've got any questions, post them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Once again, I can't say enough about that G90 Xiegu radio. The thing's wonderful. Boy, it's really going to rain on me, isn't it? The Wolf River Coil TIA 1000. Good antenna for what it is. First initial take on it, tough to tune. Once you get it tuned, spot on. The tuning's cumbersome. But more to come on that, because I'm not going to give up on that antenna. I think it's got a lot of potential. So I'm going to keep playing with that. The first take on it, if you can get over the tuning part of it, once you get it set up, spot on. Because once I had it tuned, the thing worked like a dream. Just tough to tune. Other than that, I'll keep playing with it, and I'll let you guys know. YouTube, take care, be safe. If you know somebody that's kind of an electronics geek or into techie stuff, turn them on to ham radio. We're always looking for amateur radio operators, especially with things going the way they are today. When all else fails, amateur radio works. And we're testament to that. As a matter of fact, at Field Day, just as another quick side note, we gave some VE testing. We have a technician class every year. We did the testing at Field Day, and I think we had like 10 or 12 people take the test, and I believe they all passed, and one guy went from nothing to extra. So bonus to him. He went all the way. Talking about going from stop to 2,000 miles an hour. He went from not having his technician license all the way to extra. So good for him. He's way smarter than me. And everybody else that got their tech licenses, good job. I think everybody tried for the general test. I don't know if anybody else went to general, but I know they all passed their tech. And I know one guy went all the way. He went from nothing to extra class. So bless him. God bless him. So with any amount of luck, we'll have 12 new hams in the group. So there you go. When your cell phones quit working, when your phones quit working, when the internet goes down, ham radio always works. So there you have it. YouTube, take care. Look for another follow-up video. What that's going to be, I have no idea. But we'll see. Till then, stay safe. Remember your veterans and your people in the military. Look up amateur radio if you're interested. What else? That's it. That's all I got. Give me some comments below if you like all this content. Give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. That counts too. But I appreciate some comments, some feedback. Oh, I did get some new subscribers. To those that are subscribing to the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not subscribing to my channel, please, 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 please. I think I'm up to a whopping 13 subscribers now or something. So, hey, whatever. Yep, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up if you like the vids, comment below. If you have any questions, comment below. Check out my other videos. There's the CCKW videos, there's the Coke machine videos, there's a video strictly on the G90. What else? More to come. Talk to you later, YouTube. Take care.